What's up, everyone? Carmine Danisco here on the Launch Pad. We are broadcasting on Launch Network. We've been over for over 8 seasons. I cannot believe some of you have stuck with me listening to my voice for that long. Even I don't want to listen to myself for that long, and I could talk forever. But thank you so much for sticking with us. I appreciate you very much. I have awesome guests today. Ran into this gentleman, I don't want to say, maybe a month or two ago. And, just a great all around guy. But what I really love is he does what he says and he has an awesome product. And it's just an add on to how great of a guy he is. I thought it was just so cool. We got to get him on a podcast. He's got some excellent experience in the industry, but also all around life experience. I think he's can really help and give us all some good vibes. Let's bring him on, Frank Quantz. Frank, what's happening, my friend?
Well, hello, my friend Carmine. Yes, it's been a couple months, and I gotta say, even since we've met, there's been incredible production and things are going on with the product already. But it was amazing, actually, just how we met.
Yeah, it is. The universe works in strange ways, and I think that it was so cool. You're working out, somebody says, "Hey, do you know this guy? Hey, do you know that guy?" And once you get together, all of a sudden you're like, "Wow, how come I haven't known you for so? How did this happen?" Right?
Exactly. It's like, where have you been? I've lived back over here in Florida I've been here, I think, back plus some years. And it took this long to meet you through a guy off of a Facebook marketplace that I was looking for a pickleball net. And apparently he says he lives like 3 blocks away from you. And from that point, from me buying that pickleball net from him off of Facebook, is how God put you and I together,
Yeah,
brother.
man. Yeah, man.
That alone, man,
It,
I was just like, could not believe it. And I mean, and my church is in Oldsmar. I live in Tampa. I live like 20 minutes, maybe 20, 30 minutes from where your office is. And
yeah,
I was like, my gosh, I didn't know somebody like that was even in this area.
right.
And you're the president of Inventors Association. It was incredible timing, incredible way that it happened.
Yeah.
And to me, because I'm so spiritual, it showed me again, God showed me again just how he is amazing and how he works.
Yeah, man. And like you said, in my neighborhood, I'm known as the invention guy. So I get neighbors, come and knock on my door when they have an idea. So
Look what I
yeah,
got. Look
it's
what I
pretty funny.
made.
I love it though, because I love inventing. I love the ideas. And obviously sometimes the ideas have already been made or they're not as great, but it's just a lot of fun to hear them. And for my neighbors, once they mentioned you, and I know you talk about your idea, there's no doubt they we're going to say, "Hey, you got to go talk to Carmine." So
Man.
it's awesome though. So real quick, introduce your product, tell us about it a little bit, and then we'll kind of get into the whole background. I think it's an awesome story.
Yeah. Well, my name is Frank. My middle name is Stevens, which is the company's name, Stevens Innovations. That's from my mom's side of the family. I lost my mom when I was 6.5 years old. It was a dramatic
Wow.
thing as a 6.5-year-old to go through, not knowing what his life is going to be. At my mom's funeral, and the experience I had with that was another conversation. But uh, from then on, it's wow, it's been a journey. But I decided to name the company Stevens Innovations because I want to implant my mom's side of my family and that name in the world, even when I'm long gone and past. At least that I know I've done something to memorize for my mother and that name to put it as Stevens Innovations. But they're knee pads. Everybody in the industry knows what knee pads do. Yes, they help protect the front of the leg, the knee. But everybody who wears knee pads knows darn well that those straps will kill and destroy the back of your legs, ripping your hair out, rubbing your skin raw. creating varicose veins. If you go on my website, actually, rapidZipit.com, you'll see a guy on there, a gentleman. His name is Dave. He's been with CFI, certified flooring installers. He's a vice president of CFI, and he's been installing for 39 years. He's got varicose veins in the back of his leg the size of baseballs and softballs. And he's got a video on there telling, just from my creation, how the compression and how the comfort and the support that it gives, the way I designed and made it, for his leg that has, for people has varicose veins. But anyway, they're strapless knee pads. Knee pads have been around for almost 100 years, and all of them, everybody knows, are made with straps. One strap or two. One strap, it's always wobbling, shaking, and shifting and adjusting, and it doesn't stay put. The two straps, you have it creasing down into the middle of your knee itself, right where it bends, where what cuts off your blood circulation, rips your hair out, rubs your skin raw, and creates those varicose veins. I've created a strapless knee pad it's more like a wrap. It wraps around your leg like a knee brace. Those knee braces, the elastic knee braces that you slip up your leg. I was doing some baseboards. I'm a paint contractor, and I was doing baseboards. This is like maybe 10 years ago when I was living in Denver, and I was walking on my knees. I didn't have my knee pads on. I was walking on my knees a different way compared to the way I normally did, and my knee popped. And I was like, oh, something's going to be wrong with that tomorrow. I mean, run to the dollar store and get those elastic braces. Let me slip it on. So that's exactly what I did. So I wore that for 4 days. I didn't realize I only took it off when I took a shower, and I slipped it right back on because of the comfort and the support. The fourth day I'm laying in bed, I'm just sitting there looking at it. I was like, man, how can I ever put this with knee pads? Because if this is how this felt for 4 days after popping my knee out, I wonder what that would feel like if I actually had it on knee pads. So I went to Joann Fabrics. I bought my thread. I bought the needles. I bought the thimble. I bought a bunch of zippers. I went to Home Depot. I bought, I think it was 5 pair of knee pads. So it gives me 10 individual ones that I can work with.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a pair. It just has to be one that works. And then I went to the dollar store and I bought 10 of those knee braces. And I went home, went down in my basement, and I went to work.
Wow.
And it was probably out of trial and error for probably, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months, trial and error, doing it and putting how it needs to be, how it should, just how it needs to be, period.
Yeah.
And stay on the leg. And I created it and I got it done. And I'm telling you, Lord and behold, it was a blessing by God. I know, because where I was at in my life and what I wanted to do and where I was going, and everything changed that time right there. I went and got the patent taken care of. It took me, I think we were just discussing this earlier with you. It took me like 2.5 to 3 years to get a utility patent. And a utility patent and a design patent are the only 2 patents you can get in the world. And the utility patent is more technical. Design patent is less technical.
So real quick, Frank, I don't want to cut you, but I want to go back to real quick, just for listeners, because you decided to make your prototypes yourself, which I think was a great idea because you had it in your mind, right? Because a lot of times an inventor will go somewhere or try to get a prototype made, offshore or at a factory or something. And was it beneficial that you made your prototypes yourself because you knew how you wanted it to work and what you wanted it to look like, right?
Absolutely, Carmine, because me being in the industry and just not construction as a painter, but the construction workers. I mean, man, how many industries wear knee pads?
Yeah. I mean, so many.
They're out there everywhere. It's just not one industry, but the industry that I'm in, yes, I had to make it. I felt I had to make it to fit right, feel right, and actually be effective. And anybody that makes it themselves, you'll have more opportunity of trial and error to fix that trial and the error that you're doing in trial, you'll have more opportunities to fix that by yourself, get it right. Because if you keep going to some place like overseas to get a prototype made, you're wasting time, you're wasting effort, you're wasting money. Because then after you get it over there, they're going to do that and they're going to send it back to you and it still doesn't work. Then you have to do something else. Put it this way, it could go back and forth 10, 15 times before it's finally right. And all of those 10, 15 times, again, you're wasting time, you're wasting a ton of money, and you're wasting effort. So what I did, yes, I stuck it to myself, because also I didn't want to get it out there, because people can steal that while they're actually doing it and doing what you want them to do. They could be stealing that information. They could be stealing that product and you would never know it. Plus, I wanted to go ahead and get that done by myself, because also my patent attorney told me, you got to keep this quiet. You can't let anybody see this, let anybody know about it until you get it filed. So I worked, like I said, in my basement, or per se in the closet. So no one can see it, no one can use it, and no one knows anything about it but me, myself, and I.
That's right.
And my patent attorney, so that everything can get filed. And once I got it filed, bro, I went off and went everywhere and anything to get this out, because not just for me, but while I was doing my trial and error in Destin, Florida, in Destin, Florida, Carmine, while I was doing my trial and error, I was giving it to my fellow friends that were painters also, and construction workers on jobs that I was doing, having them test it out also and getting their feedback while they're using them. And I was putting all that feedback into my mind and then back into my product every week or every other week that I was doing something not working, and I had time to go ahead and redo it and get it back, to get it just right. And I'm telling you, I got some friends there in Destin. I've lived there for quite some time, and that was a long time trial and error. But once I got it, I got it. And I knew, and this is the other thing about inventors, you got to understand, that's your baby. That's your baby. Because if you get something done and you're expecting someone to get it out there for you, you better think twice.
That's right.
Because it's your baby. No one's going to be, knowing that you created it, you know what it does, you know the effect of how it helps them. It's going to take you, the person who created it, to get it out there. Go do the work, go do the legwork, go to trade shows. I'm 60 now. I'm back in Florida. It's been 4.5 years. But that prior 6 years, I was traveling from Denver, Colorado, where I started, Destin, Florida, where I stayed for a while. Then I went up to Atlanta for 2 years because I had a friend that's going through divorce, and I needed to get it out into the more public's eye in stores. So I moved up to Atlanta, Georgia for a little while, actually for 2 years. Got it out into multiple stores up there. And during those times of that 6 years, I was doing different trade shows also to get them out there. And I'm telling you, man, the grace and the glory of God of giving me the willpower and the determination that he gave me this product, that I put it into this product, to me go out and do what I did to get it out to the public's eye, to prove it's not a needed concept, but a wanted concept, because of all the knee pads that are made with straps. And these strapless knee pads are incredible. And again, it makes it feel like you have a knee brace and knee pad on at the same time, to where you can work all day long. Straps, about 2.5 hours into the day, you're ready to cut the day because your legs are raw. And then when you go home to shower and clean up, and that cold water hits that burning raw sensation of a skin, it tears it up even more and burns even more. And then you got like 3, 4, 5 days of healing before you can actually put another pair of knee pads on.
So Frank, it's so crazy, man, because you have so much information on this because you work in the industry. And that's what I love about when people put a product together that they work on or solving a problem in their industry. Not that you can't. I mean, you could be a plumber. It's awesome. There's nothing wrong with you. And you make a product for pickleball. That's fine. You like pickleball, whatever. But what I love about what you said, and I want to go back a little bit to you having people in your industry test a product, which I think is so important to have the right demographic test your product. I mean, you're not going to give your grandmother, a race car to go test. It's just not right to do. You have to get it tested by the right people. So when you were having your friends and people in the industry do some testing, what was some of the feedback, and did anything change in your design from some of the feedback?
A lot of feedback. That's when you're starting the trial and error. And when you say basically, when you said that people in my industry, yes, Carmine, that was a very crucial point, because I'm in the industry. I made the product for that industry. So why not have people in that industry do your trial and error for me, which they did along with me doing it also. And yes, the feedback I got from them, and plus the information, of course, that I was registering myself, using them myself. A lot of things have changed. The elastic, how I measure the measurements of them, how it stays on, how it doesn't shift, how it's the expansion zipper for one size fits all. I mean, all of that came in effect after the first time when I started creating them, and me giving them out to my friends in the industry for them to try it out. But I can tell you, the first and foremost feedback that came back from everybody that I gave them out to, they absolutely loved them.
Yeah, they knew you had something.
Because they could, after they put them on, they like 5-10 minutes after they put them on, you couldn't even tell that they were on your legs anymore. They were driving home, and they would call me on the phone like, Frank, I just got to tell you something. I had these things on all day, and I was driving home. I got out of the truck, and I totally forgot that I had them on.
They didn't want to give it back to you.
Exactly. It's amazing. The feedback alone is the more encouraging. Again, I feel that's a blessing from God because of the product that he gave me, because there's nothing like this in the world.
Yeah.
And now that there is something like this in the world, it takes you to get it out, the creator to get it out. Don't rely on somebody else to support your drive that you have
your
in
dream.
You. You're exactly your dream. Your dream is yours. You have to create it. You have to make it, because the more you do with it, God's going to triple that and come down even stronger for you.
Yeah. And if people see that somebody like you, Frank, I know you're out there, you're banging the concrete, every day. You're talking to people. They don't mind helping. They don't mind jumping in and chipping in because you're doing it. A lot of inventors, and I'm not being mean, I'm an inventor. A lot of inventors think all I got to do is create this great product. And if people are going to knock my door down, it doesn't really happen because there's a lot of great products out there, right?
I thought the same thing as all I got to do is just get this one amazing product and show someone, and then I'll just be getting checks every month.
No,
that is a mind problem. That's a mind problem. Yeah, no, it don't work that way. And believe me, I learned the hard way, but I can tell you, the hard way has been the most gracious, graceful learning experience that I will never forget. I'm talking just not the places that I've gone, the people that I've met, the stories that I've heard, and even on the trade shows, the product that I sell, and I'll be at a different trade show 6 months later, and somebody from that trade show 6 months ago was at that trade show, and they're walking, you remember me, blah, blah. I bought these from you from such a, these are the most amazing, I can't believe no one's, blah, blah. I mean, that just keeps the venom going.
Oh, yeah, man. I love it. Because we love this stuff too. That you got to really, somebody like yourself, when you came in my office, I knew you loved this stuff, and it's great. And you don't have to throw your whole life at it, but you have to really like what you're doing. You have to talk. So you trade shows, and I don't want to get off topic, but there's a lot of trade shows coming up. It's almost trade show season, and the UIA You know, I want to just mention, do you have some tips? And I hate getting off topic, but you brought it up, so I have to. You have some tips, maybe a couple tips for people that are thinking of going to a trade show.
Oh, tips as a vendor or tips as a guest going to walk?
You know, if they're bringing a product to the trade show.
Know your industry. Know your industry. Know what the trade shows have to offer. Find your trade show niche.
Right. There's so many shows.
Yeah, because oh my gosh, there's so many. I mean, for every industry in this world that you can imagine that is out there, there's a trade show for it.
Yeah.
I mean, cooking, hardware, groceries. I mean, clothes.
I've been to the pizza show. I loved it.
Everything. There's a trade show for it. So find your product niche. Find your shows that you feel you need to go to. Do your research on that and get a corner lot.
Now that's an inside chick right there. Hey, you're getting people from both sides.
Yes. Corner lots, you got people coming from two directions, or possibly sometimes, depending on where that corner is, it's four directions.
Yeah, that's true.
When you're in the middle of in the middle of a row, I don't despise it. If that's my last alternative, I'll take it. But boy, those corners are incredible. But yes, find your niche of what your product is. Make sure you know your product in and out. Make sure you know your customers, because you should know your product in and out. You should know what your customers are going to ask, what they're going to want, what they're going to need.
Sure.
Because you're in that, you should be in that industry. So find your niche. And all I can say, man, is bless you and blow it up.
Yeah, man.
And do not let anybody, and this, I mean this, Carmine, this might be off track, but the subject, but don't listen to anybody but your heart and your mind, what you feel about your product. Don't listen to anybody that says, oh yeah, hey, that's a nice product, good luck. Oh yeah, so what are you going to do with that when the economy goes to the poopers? What are you going to do with that when this how? What are you going to do with that when that goes back? You know, I have heard everything from friends, from family, from closest friends, from people that I've heard all the negative response, replies, suggestions, everything. I've heard them all. And you know what? It won in this ear and came out that one. 100%. I have no idea what it is, man, because my heart and my mind was so strong and determined because I'd done my research on my product. Do your research on your product. Know what you're bringing into the world, and don't let anybody reflect or deflect you from your goals.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Crank, because you know, I don't even think people realize that they're being negative, or I don't want to say jealous, but they look at themselves as all of a sudden, wait a minute, I'm not doing things like this, so I'm going to try to stop these persons from being successful. I don't think they do it on purpose in a sense, but I'm so glad you brought that up. Surround yourself by people that are positive, people that have done these things, people that know it can work, and that people that believe in you, because there's a lot of people are going to try to drag you down, right, Frank? It sounds like you ran into those people.
Oh boy, I tell you, I have. I actually, I've actually even I brought friends into it from in the beginning. I brought some friends into it because of the people who they knew that I thought that they might want to invest and help me get things rolling.
But
what came from it, Carmine, was the devil. What they were doing was they were taking my product and having it manufactured with me knowing that. But what they were doing was they were adding more than $1 onto the cost of it getting manufactured, before I even got the product.
Wow.
They were charging me more. So what I'm telling you is my close friends were backstabbing me to take money from me before my product even got onto market.
Your friends.
Yes, they were adding money to what the cost was going to be for them to pocket it, but they were going to also put money into it also. So listen, did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous.
Any sense? You're putting money into it, but you're charging me more that you're going to take money out of it before I'm even manufactured.
It's insane. Yeah.
They had, I really, so whoever you bring into, if you bring any, I advise you to do the leg. I advise you new inventors out there, do the leg work, do it yourself, get it to where, and then go to Carmine and have the manufacturing done, because he's an honest guy. I mean, look at the background, all the projects he's got going. I never met anyone like you until now. Back then, if I met you then, we'd be brothers, man.
Of course,
I'd have my shaved head with glasses looking just like you.
I do tend to rub off on people. So real quick, I see those products behind you, as you mentioned, behind me. Tell me a little about the trials and tribulations of all those prototypes and what worked, what didn't, what you ran into, maybe some tips, when people are making prototypes, or what they should be doing.
Oh, man. Well, this one here, this one is the first ever made, ever manufactured, ever made. That's my last one of that. This is my last one of this. This is the same thing manufactured over here, but this is just a different cap.
Yeah, I see that.
And then I got into my real, after I was telling you about how I got my feedback and readjusted and did this and did that to where I got it now. Now, this right here, as I told you earlier, this is the very first pair that I created, and it's in a framed square box.
Nice, very nice.
The first pair that I created 10 years ago, and to this day, I can take them out of this box and still use them today. Wow. And it'll feel just the same as it would if I had this one on, this one, which are all my new ones, the green and the black one.
Wow. It's amazing. What? How did you choose, real quick, how did you choose the colors? Because I love the colors that you use. Did you ever do a couple colors that were just duds?
No colors that were duds.
Wow.
Because if I wanted to do any color to start out with one, it'd be a white just to check it out and see how it would work out, which is I just not even know when I say that, which is white.
White. There you go.
And these are rubber flex. So these are very, very flexible. So the other one that I didn't tell you about was I got a label deal off of a company that's a mining company of all places, Carmine, a mining company, people that go under earth and mine. I was at a trade show, and this gentleman, he's maybe like 5'7". He says he's a miner. He's like 70. Old man. And he showed me on his phone on a video of him 300 feet below, 300 feet below in a tunnel with his camera on his chest, showing upward as he's rolling himself through a tunnel. I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyway, they love the product so much, they got their own made. Wow. And it's called Blue Wolf. They're out of, where is it? I forgot where they're out of.
Explain to the listeners what you mean by a label deal or I know what you mean, but
yeah, a label deal is when a company likes your product so much and they actually want to get their name put on it, on your product, and they want their own colors.
Look how nice that looks.
Which is the zippers. That's the color they wanted. As you can see in there, it's blue, light blue, and yellow.
Yeah.
The wolf. So they got the light blue cap, the dark blue name, and the yellow zippers. So what it is they wanted their own color, they wanted their own product, and they wanted their own mark literature on it. So that's what a label deal is.
And you
And
said, no problem, man.
absolutely. And that's when they order 1,000 pair instead of 10 for a trial, because they actually took some home from the trade show. And they were actually the owners of the company that were there that I showed it to. So
Wow.
that's again, man, the experiences that I have encountered at trade shows is absolutely truly amazing, because those trade shows in the world of, no matter what product you have, no matter what product you're creating, people, it doesn't matter as long as you take them to trade shows, because trade shows gets it out to the public's eye. Only time you're going to get out the public's eye is if you do what I did, which I started doing in the beginning before trade shows, was going out to stores, Ace Hardware stores, in fact, everywhere. Ace Hardware stores in Atlanta, Destin, Florida, Denver. I was going to Ace Hardware stores and making appointments with the owners to present the product to them to see if they wanted to carry it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of strikes, and there were a lot of spares, and there were a lot of gutters coming out of those presentations. But what it did again, it told me and showed me that my product is just not a needed commodity, but it's a wanted commodity.
Yeah. Big difference.
Because of what? Yes, huge difference, because of what those straps do on knee pads. I mean, you can find knee pads. You can go to my website, rapidzipit.com, WRAPITZIPIT, rapidzipit.com. There's the knee pads on. I forgot what I was trying to tell you on that.
The Ace Hardware guys.
Oh, Ace Hardware.
Did you have some guys talking about, why they didn't want to carry it, or they did want to carry it, or things you learned from doing those meetings?
Oh man, I just.
No, that's okay.
Totally forgot.
No big deal. Real quick, you were mentioned, and I don't want to turn this into a podcast about trade shows, because I mean we could talk for another hour about your product, because we only got through a little bit of it, which we might have to have another show. But your personality, to me, because not only do you know your product, you work in the industry, you love the product idea, but you're an outgoing person, because, again, I think because you know the industry so well, you don't mind speaking up. And I think that a lot of our inventors, they really need, when they go to these trade shows, make the most of it. Make sure you're out there and you're talking. And if you can't, bring somebody with you that can, right? Somebody that can be talking and be out in front.
Oh, absolutely. If you're not that extrovert in those moments, and you're an introvert 100%, I'm an introvert and extrovert. It all depends on the situation that I'm in and where I'm at. But yes, if you don't have anybody that can, or yourself, that you can't present to people, somebody that that knows your product and is a presentable person on products, bring them with you. I remember the first trade show that I started going to, Carmine. I carried my hand stitched knee pads with how I wanted it, like the pair that's up in that box right there. I carried them in a backpack and flyers to the trade show. So instead of looking at knee pads, I was finding people who sold knee pads and who I could speak to and talk to present my invention,
your design,
my prototype. That's what I was looking for. I was showing my prototype to people. And I'm going to tell you, when I took it to the trade show, I only had one zipper on it. And the more people that I was talking to, and the more people that I was bringing it to, and the suggestions that I was getting, the main one was, how is it going to fit larger legs? You're going to have to make bigger size stretch material on the back, this or that, or you're going to have to order different sizes. Which, try and find the shortcut, people, to make your product a vast variety one size fits all, because I only had one size. And when they mentioned that, I was like, wow, that's something I didn't think of. Instead of having to buy in bigger or making and manufacturing multiple sizes, which you're going to be just blowing all kinds of money.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I went home back to my basement, per se, closet. I went back to my basement and I went back to work again. And how I came up with it, Lord and behold, everybody who travels, you know how your little suitcase has got that little expansion zipper on the top, how it pops
baby.
up and you get a little bit extra room. That's the first thing that popped into my head, man. And only thing I could think of is, where can I put this? How can I make that like this on my product? Where can I make this happen? Blah, blah, blah. How I got it? I got one zipper on and off on one side, an expansion zipper on the other, to where when you unzip the expansion zipper, you got a whole bunch more elastic that's going to come out there that wraps around those bigger legs. And Carmine, I'm telling you, the trade shows that I've been at, of course, now, some big guys have come to my booth, man, and I use them myself just to test myself and my product, just how good it is. I've had some massive big guys that I would never even think that would be leaning down during the day, because they're so big. You got to keep getting up. But there are some big guys out there, some big legs. And I'm telling you, they walk up, and I don't think you got anything that fit me. Yeah. They walked away buying 2 pairs. They walked away buying 2 pairs.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean,
the
awesome, product itself, you know, and Frank, you know, you come in my office, I got stuff everywhere, and I get people come in all the time with the greatest products, and some of them are good or not. When you came in, I said not the same thing. Oh, yeah, what's this thing? Your product is not only great quality, but it friggin' works, man. I mean, it's hard to find something that's not good about it. I mean, it's a great product, but it's because, again, you've put the time in, you've got the knowledge, you've gotten the feedback, and you've listened going to that show. So I again, we're going to close up the show, but I think that I want to ask you to come back on the show, because I want to talk more about your product. I think our listeners can really learn a lot about your journey. Yeah, they've learned some things there, but you know, like me and you, we get sidetracked. We could be talking for hours. And I really want to bring you back on to talk about not only, again, trade shows and things like that, but also your product, your steps, the way you've done things can really be instrumental for a lot of our inventors. But again, the product itself, if you were listening and you're looking, I'm a do-it-yourselfer, guys. As soon as he said that, it hit me. I hate knee pads. I only can use one strap. I have to wear them over my pants. I'm always trying to figure out a way. So this product works. There's no end but it works. And I think it's because all of the great steps you do, all the trials and tribulations, ups and downs, and you've taken that all to heart. Dude, I think you're doing an awesome job, my friend.
Carmine, you are so true. You're so right. And I deeply appreciate all the praise. But I give my praise to God, man, and where I was in my life, and what he's done with me in the last 10 years. God smacked me, woke me up, and blessed me with this product. And I can't thank or praise anybody, but and give him the grace and the gratitude for giving me a new life, a new purpose, a new determination, and bringing this product into the world. I appreciate you so much, brother. You're an amazing guy, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Yeah, I love it. But what I congratulate you, you listened, and some people don't. So that's what I congratulate you for listening, for getting that information and getting those chances and taking them. So all you listeners out there, take this and listen. Listen to the show. There's a lot happening. We're going to bring Frank back on because there's a lot more that he can share with us. Trade shows, products, feedback, prototypes. I mean, you heard it all. Go back and listen to those shows. Make sure, if you can, go on out to Google Play, iTunes, wherever you consume your podcast material. Make sure you share the show. Leave us some feedback and subscribe to the show so you get all the next updated subscriptions and versions of the show. Frank, I appreciate you coming on. For all you listeners out there, thank you. And I will see you next time on the Launchpad. You all take care.